We're in Croatia on a Lagoon 42, beginning of June. We have just left Rogoznica. We're gonna go around the corner to Primošten, which is a beautiful village. This boat is equipped with loads of stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't get the code 0, and we have loads of solar panels on this boat, and also a very good generator, and most importantly, we have a water maker, which is not very common in Croatia. I've heard these 12-volt water makers are not that good, so we'll see. Not sure about the output, but we'll figure out this. And you just simply start it here. It's an aqua base Lagoon 42. It's just like a great boat. They just nailed it, and they have built so many of this. It's a really big success for the Lagoon. This is Croatia, this is Split. And if you fly to Croatia, you can either fly to Dubrovnik or to Split. And we took our boat here in Rogoznica. We're just going around the corner to Primošten, which is just in front of us now. Primošten is on a small peninsula. It's a beautiful place. There's a church up there. It's a great energy. You can just sit there. It's a beautiful view. It's not crowded. It's still Corona times, and I was expecting more boats at the beginning of June. So we made it to the top of the Primošten, and our boat is just down there. Local tree, it's a smokva. I think it's called fig, and you can make a marmalade or just eat them raw. It's a village. It's actually on a peninsula. It's like an island, but it's connected to the shore, to the coast. And you can walk around like old houses. It's so charming. It's like a real Mediterranean. Croatia, there's a lot of cats, and it's totally normal to have a cat at home, or have like a home cat that's actually walking around the town and coming home. In Croatia, there's really good seafood here, but sometimes when you're not sure, you just go take a pizza and a Greek salad, and you don't go wrong. It looks pretty good.
Please, sure.
Croatia has beautiful sea wherever you go. This is like the cleanest, the best water you can get. And there's many beaches, but it's not sandy. There's only a few sandy beaches in Croatia. There are, you can find them, but it's mostly, like fine sand or small rocks like here, which we actually like because it doesn't get, everywhere behind your pants and swimming suit. And we're gonna follow the coast and go here to this Blue Lagoon, so-called, very nice place. We could definitely use more wind. We have around 6-7 knots. Looks like all week is gonna be very bad with winds. Well, that's how it happens in Croatia. Sometimes you have very good winds, sometimes all week you don't have. It's nice to have solar panels on the deck, but usually here, the 42s, they have cushions, and I take cushions over the solar panels anytime. And I always said the solar panels on Lagoon 42, they should be here in front of the self-tacking. That's where nobody should go anyway, because it's dangerous. It's just a great place, this lagoon. Beautiful place. It's still all closed. It's Corona times, it's beginning of season. And now I'm gonna walk up to the top where there's a really beautiful view. These are all the cars that were built in Yugoslavia. This one also. Very, very famous cars for this region. This is another famous car. It's Jugo, so it was Yugoslavia before. It was all these Balkan countries together. And this is Jugo, like Yugoslavia. It was built here. We have this beautiful dinner here with this beautiful setting. So, bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Now we're gonna follow Šolta and go down, have a hike here to an old monastery, and go to Bol Brac. They used to hide submarines, military boats. So it's digged into the land, but now it's just used for some local fishermen. Sula Smrka, it's a very nice place also to spend the night or just for day swimming. But when you have sun, you don't have sun now, so it's you don't get the colors. So this is a rock, and this is just a passage. So it happens that this friend who owns this place also makes the best wine in Croatia. Very small quantity, you cannot really buy it, only if you know him. And we're so lucky to be able to visit him and try that wine. And besides the best wine, he also does the best olive oil. He has some olive trees around the house, and it's just the best olive oil you can get. Yes. We are now on Bol, on Island Brac. It's the famous beach. It's called Zlatni Rat. And here behind me, this is this famous beach. Beautiful shape. You've probably seen pictures from up. I don't have a drone this time. It's almost sunset and we came to this bay. Down there it's Vrbuska Jelsa. We're on island of Hvar. Our boat is down there. Our chef for today, doing his specialty. This has to be tzatziki and a special spiced meat. This is the demonstration of our chef. Very good. It's actually super healthy and looking forward. Well done, chef. The weather has finally cleared up. We have sun, it's warm. Also the sea is warm enough for swimming. Pine forest is amazing. It gives plenty of shade and gives this nice Mediterranean smell. So pleasant. Purified water. This is so clear, so clean. Croatia has the best water in the world. It's amazing. Do you still prefer sandy beaches? Just look at this. You can jump directly in the water, you can go slowly in the water. Kids can jump, you can dive. You have a perfect plateau, for laying down. There's no annoying sand. I mean, I think this is the paradise. I mean, sand is fine, as I've said, but this is the real paradise. You gotta give it a try. So the day winds have picked up, and out in the channel it's gonna be very windy. And we are finally sailing. We have beautiful wind. It's probably around 15-16 knots of wind, not much waves, beautiful conditions. We're now tacking to avoid kite surfers. Good job. Amazing, just look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. It went across, then here went to the beach, zigzagged, and now we're just 2 miles away from the bay where we're gonna spend the night. We made it to this bay with my favorite restaurant, Arsenal. The restaurant is just down there and it's a beautiful bay. Restaurant Arsenal behind me. Well, you just have to come here. It's one of the best places. Here's our dinghy. Our boat is all the way down there. It's a beautiful bay. And this is how you don't leave your dinghy. You see, that's how you don't do it, because your engine is crashing in the floor all the time.
Thank you for coming.
And this is the best barbecue you can get in Croatia.
Kad se ona počne crvenit,
Hair dryer is here because they use it to give hot air to the charcoal.
I'll put some of this
Dinner was so
biting his
helpful
lip
in
on
Turkey
the,
when I got to like 2/3.
dobra tek.
So we have shrimps and mussels on buzara in a special sauce for an appetizer, and this sauce is so good. You dip this bread in, really good. Recommend it. And this is after, not before. This is after. So this is pasta arsenal, and this is steak arsenal. And if you come here, definitely have to try this.
All the bones, but most of the bones. So you still have to be careful.
When everybody's quiet behind the table, that's a really good sign.
Yes, the best sign.
This is the semifreddo. It's a home specialty, made at home. It's just the best dessert you can get. We're getting close to the city of Hvar, on the island of Hvar. It's right here. There's a big castle up there. These are the fast passenger catamarans connecting most of the Croatian islands. The reservations, but doesn't really work exactly. So the key is probably to be early, or just to have a super big yacht and a big wallet, and you're gonna have a spot down there at the river. Fast catamaran drops some passenger on the far, and now he goes on. 30 knots speed they do. Pretty cool. This is the bay, it's called Dubovica. It's one of the very nice bays around here. So what do you think? How cool is this?
It's awesome.
Majestic cliffs. What a place. This is another of my favorite spots. It's a beautifully protected bay. It's open to south winds, but for the day winds, you know, Mistral and north winds, it's perfect. And this is a restaurant, Giggle. It's one of my favorite places to come. And this is the Giggle Restaurant. You should really come here. This is the best master chef. He does one of the best seafoods in Croatia, either fish, seafood stuff. Quick hike uphill for this beautiful view. Down there you can see this, and down there behind it's City Hvar, Pakleni Islands. And actually it is warm, but this wind, day wind, is cooling down the air just enough to be pleasant. And there's a brother and a sister. This is the bay on the other side of our bay. It's just a magic. And we are just on the other side of this bay where Zarche is and Giggle Restaurant. And then you can walk to this bay, there's a beautiful beach, or have a hike up here to the main road for all these views. Here's my hiking partner. The only one that dared to do the hike. Everybody else swimming and having a lazy day. Here it is, our boat. These are the best homegrown tomatoes you can get. It actually tastes like a tomato, not like a mixture between an apple, dirt, and a banana. And these are olive trees, and Croatia is very famous for super good olive oil. And of course the wine. Vineyards on Hvar, very famous. It's a very good place for growing wine. Hello, doggy. That's a nice place you're looking at. Beautiful. I would say this is the best vacation house ever. On the beach. Just look at this place. It's a hidden beach. I mean, does it get better? Amazing. So this is the octopus salad, but it's so good that we didn't have time to film, we just eat it first. We're in Giggle Restaurant. We started with octopus salad. We're getting mussels, fish, seafood risotto. It's a really good place to come to eat. Shrimps and mussels on buzara.
Probably could. It just they work very much.
Seafood risotto, and it tastes amazing. This is state-of-the-art seafood risotto.
So mad for doing that. So easy.
Looks amazing.
Delicious.
Fantastic.
Just amazing.
Right.
It's the best in the world. Let's look at this. Bon appetit, and we're gonna turn the camera off now. And we go to Vis Island. It's just a beautiful island. So we're gonna have a swim in this bay, which is really beautiful with a sandy beach, and then go to Vis town. And we're gonna rent e-bikes, which is just the best way to see the island. And we'll go to Komija and then return around. It's just a beautiful tour you can do. Hvar Island behind us. And this is where the city Hvar is, and then Pakleni Islands. Here you can see Vis in front of us. It's a really nice island. Croatia has a lot of lighthouses like this. They were built years ago in the times of, I think, Maria Theresia, and they were built from solid stone, and they're all over the place, and they were really important to keep the shipping going. And years ago, the family would just live here, so the lighthouse keeper and the family, and he would have to put the petroleum every 3 hours inside to keep the light going. And every 3 hours it was because, you could like put more, for all night, but no. It was because he would check every 3 hours if the light is still working properly, because otherwise, he could wake up in the morning and he didn't even know it's working, not working. And it was so important that he could mess it up only once. It was very easy to check if he's doing his job. If the light was working, he's doing his job. So he could only mess it once, and then he would probably lose a job because it was so important to keep these lights working. We are in Stončica Bay. We got the best buoy, which is the closest to shore. Just a great beach. Stop, swim. Some beautiful houses around here. This is Honda 2.3 air-cooled engine, 4-stroke. It's actually only good for mixing crepes and maybe to get to shore. When I say mixing crepes, it's when you put milk, flour and stuff and you don't use the mixer. You can just use this engine. It's just strong enough to do it. And then probably you're gonna be faster to get to shore using pedals. But it goes a long way, a long time. Yeah, Croatia is pretty rocky, mostly. But we love these rocks, it's just beautiful. And you have this Mediterranean feel, Mediterranean villages. The vibe is here, definitely. Beautiful sea, beautiful swimming. I just love Croatia. I would say it's just the best sail. I mean, the best area for sailing I've done. The food is amazing, great fish. We took a buoy here in Vis. It's very deep here, so I would suggest taking a buoy or going to the moorings, which are down there in the village. I have this electrical bike and I'm going around an island. I just came to the top of the Vis, and down there I can see Komija, also a beautiful town. Beautiful. It has this special charm. I just love it. Just look at this. Incredible. Such a nice water. So here's our boat. I'm always afraid to leave the boat alone. It's all good. The boat is safe. Island of Vis used to be a military island, so I think this house is the one that Tito used when he was here. It's a beautiful location. It needs a little bit of renovation, maybe a new windows and a fresh paint, but otherwise it's in a pretty good condition. So much history here. Who knows what was going on here. But anyway, interesting to explore these places. This looks like kind of a kitchen or bathroom. This is an old military pier. You can see the tracks, so they could probably bring some heavy stuff from the boat. And there's probably an arsenal for the equipment. And these are the small stones I was saying. This is the beach we like. We really like this. So they're nicely rounded, so you can walk barefoot. And there's no annoying sand. One of the things I love in Croatia are these evenings when the sun goes down. You still have this nice Mediterranean vibe, smell, pine trees. It's just a healing environment, and that's actually how the tourism started. Germans and Austrians figured out that it's super healthy to come here on the south to the Mediterranean because this climate is just amazing. So they would start coming here, and the campsite slowly developed, and now Croatia is a huge touristic place, and it's amazing. Yeah, good. So this is how looks the breakfast. We're gonna go just around the corner to this bay. So just maybe 15 minutes. And here there's another military tunnel you can visit. And then if you walk around and get to here somewhere, it's really hard to find. You can go to the underground tunnels. So we are now walking to the tunnels I showed on the map. It's actually kind of hard to find them. You have to know where the entrance is. Don't just do this because we're doing. You're supposed to know what you're doing. So there's a small hole. So how does this look like?
Amazing. I feel like I'm in a war camp.
So now remember, we go left, okay? And this is where the guns were. You can see the rails. They could pull the guns out and then protect the island. A very cool place. This is just beautiful. This is our boat, and just in front of, this is another huge tunnel. This was used for the submarines and boats of the military. Are these those, how's it called, that go in your hair? Yeah. A Batman. Bats, yeah, these are bats and birds. This is another. They probably kept something important here, like munition. Maybe a prison, who knows? Just look at how clear the water is. It's almost invisible. So now from leftovers, Tanner is doing a magic. It didn't look at the beginning, but it smells so good now. It's gonna be a perfect risotto. Loads of vegetables, super healthy. We are living the paradise. And we hope for some good winds. The weather forecast was good, but then in the morning they changed their mind. And they said the winds are not gonna be so good. Croatia has a lot of good sweets, and this is one of them, Crush. These ones are good, and you have chocolate waffles. Just sailing, flying towards mainland from Vis, doing some workout. We have a captain and his boss keeping an eye. We are doing 5, almost 6 knots, 50 knots of true wind speed, flying towards next destination. Beautiful bay, our boat is down there. We came here to this small pier, beautiful local boats. We're gonna go for a walk. We just met this lovely man who makes his olive trees here and a very good wine, and he's gonna give us a little bit of wine so we see what he does. Oh, I'll have a less of this too. No, this is way too much. This is half of this.
Okay.
This is for the ladies, the big ones.
Like you.
This is for children, and I want to see the.
Are you joining it?
Love it. Love it.
It's good.
Okay,
So you
let's
got
see.
those, the fine.
In Split there is like a Kolchose or
It's good.
in
I like
Split
this.
There's a marketplace for the
I
grapes
like this.
in October, and then you go like fish market. You say,
I like
this
it a lot.
box I want to have.
This was the top. No ice cream on top, so we go down. Being cooked. Oh, nothing in here yet. The dinner for today, it looks amazing. Just look at this. A lot of effort put in this. If this is not a perfect table dinner, just look at this. This is amazing. Wow, look at this. This morning are just beautiful. I just love them. It's always so calm. As I've said, most of the time day winds, calm nights, calm mornings, calm evenings. We just gave a little bit of rice in the water, some leftovers for the fish. And the question is, if tuna eats that rice, what happens? It's a sushi. Is the bad joke? I think it's a pretty good one.